Hey everybody, I decided to make a video because I was tired of, like, you ever see like the cat on Instagram that's like typing like this? This is me all the time when people start talking about Rebozos in threads. And so there's about 5 questions that come up all the time. So these are my frequently asked questions. Frequently asked question number 1. What is a Rebozo? That's usually the question that happens after like a really long thread, and then at the very bottom somebody's like, what's a Rebozo? So we'll start there from number 1. A Rebozo is a long piece of fabric made in Mexico. The entire history of it I go over in my Rebozo workshops, but just really quick and easy. It was first originally thrust upon the indigenous women of what we now call Mexico. They were made to wear it over their heads. It's a Catholic thing. But what was introduced to them was the mantilla from Spain, not what we now know as the Rebozo. What I love about it is that they took something that was subjugating them and made it their own, which is awesome. If you want to know more, you can always just Google what is a Rebozo, Gena Kirby, and find out more. So question number 2, número 2, is where can I find a cheap Rebozo? Where do I start? Okay, let's start talking about what it means to make a Rebozo. This Rebozos can be, they're handmade, so it can take anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks to make one. You're not gonna find a cheap Rebozo. If you find a cheap one, it's probably because it was machine made. I love this one, by the way. It's like one of my favorites, but it's a machine made Rebozo. This was a gift from one of my students. If you're gonna buy a Rebozo, please buy a handmade one. Please support the people whose heritage and culture you're using to make a living off of. Give back. Make sure that you're using it with respect. Which brings us to number 3. Couldn't I just use a sheet, or I just use a wrap? Okay, let's back it up a little bit. If you're gonna be using somebody else's culture, if you're gonna be using knowledge from their culture, you have to remember what that even means. Babies have been stillborn and wrapped and buried and cried over in a Rebozo. People's grandmothers have been buried in the Rebozos. Tears have been wiped away by Rebozos for centuries. This is somebody else's special something. And if you're gonna be using it to make money, to make a living, you wanna pay the actual Rebozo some respect. You can't call something a Rebozo any more than I could like pick up the bathroom mat in our bathroom and hold it up and say, this is a Persian rug, because it's not. You can't just substitute something for like that. It's just like me grabbing somebody else's kid and saying, this is my daughter. No, it's not. It's not anything like that. Just use a Rebozo. And when you're buying it, make sure that you're consciously purchasing something, which means that you want to be conscientious about what you're buying. Did you buy it at a fair price? Because if you did, it means that the person who made it was getting a fair price too. Just be nice. Number 4! Number 4 is not really a frequently asked question so much as it is something that comes up a lot for me. If you're gonna be using the Rebozo, go learn about it. Find somebody who's teaching about it, somebody who's been doing it for a long time. There are lots of people in the United States who share about the Rebozo. You don't have to take it from me. You can take it from any of my students. Deborah Pascali-Bonaro teaches about it. There's lots of people. Research it. Find somebody who's going to respect it when they're talking about it. Big part of my class is the history of the Rebozo. Learn about what you're doing. Don't go out and do something. I mean, you wouldn't do acupuncture, and you wouldn't do Reiki, or you wouldn't do massage unless you learned about it first. Learn about it before you just grab some Rebozo somewhere off of Etsy and then go out and mess with people who are having a baby. You want to have some respect first. Okay. Number 5 for me is also not a frequently asked question. Well, sometimes it can be, depending on where I see it and how it's formed. Here's the deal. I do not teach people how to turn babies. That is not the purpose of the Rebozo for me and for the doulas that I share it with. The Rebozo is for relaxing mom, bringing the partner in closer to said mom or birthing person. It is for connection and relaxation. If mom can be relaxed, if the birthing person can be relaxed, then everything else will fall into place. It is not our place to tell that baby how to be born. I have no idea why the baby's in the position that it's in. I can't see inside. I don't know what's going on. If I try to move the baby, I don't know if I'm pinching something of the cord. I don't know if now baby is in a worse position than they were to begin with. It's not my business. I trust that the baby knows how to be born. I trust that the baby's mother's body knows how to give birth. My job is not to manipulate and make things happen the way I think they should go. My job is to help to relax, to love, and to witness. All right, so that's all for today, everybody. Thank you for tuning in and for keeping an open mind. Enjoy learning about the Rebozo in the future. You can find out more at genakirby.com.